So, Lee, what's happened now is that the EV $7,500 tax credit disappeared a few days
Uh-oh.
ago, and this is what the year looked like for EV manufacturers. Crummy first quarter, crummy second quarter, probably,
Huge third quarter.
crummy July or something. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, a hockey
Uh-oh.
stick. So
Yep.
the year was about a million EVs totally sold in the United States, but about 440,000 of those were in the third quarter. So this
Yep.
is here's where you end up. Tesla 46%. That used to be 80% for people who don't remember.
Yep.
GM 13%, Ford a little over 6%, Hyundai 6%.
Okay.
Now that tells me several things. The first one is that how badly Tesla's been bloodied. They may still be the only guys making money in EVs, but when you've seen your market share over what is really only a few years, we're not talking decades.
No.
When
I
you
mean, you
see
could
it
use
drop,
a decade. You could use a decade as maybe the benchmark. Yeah.
that still reminds me in the 60s, General Motors had a 50% market share in the United States.
Yes, they
All
did.
cars sold. It's now 17%. Over time, competitors got into the market. They chipped away, chipped away, chipped away. And now, GM has less than a quarter of the market share. So this is a Tesla story, but it's also a story about the fact that some of these legacy car companies have started to buy their way into this EV business. Now, this is buying your way in
Oh,
because
absolutely.
Ford's lost, say they invested $30 billion in EVs, lose another 5 billion this year, starting a new assembly line to build EVs. It's going to cost them $2 billion.
Yep.
So what did they get for this? They got a market share of about 6.5% and still lose money on every EV they sell. So
Yep.
gee whiz, gee whiz. I spent 30, $40 billion and I got, now here's the other great thing. You now have 6.5% of an EV market that's almost going to drop in half
Yep.
now, because the estimate from IC Cars is that 8% of the new cars bought in the United States in the first half of this year were EVs. Their forecast is in the fourth quarter into next year, it'll be 4%.
Uh-oh.
So
I can do the
you're,
math quickly.
you're talking about EV sales basically dropping by half. So if the ratio and proportion of the ownership of this market stays the same, GM's going to have 13% of a market that's half the size it was in the third quarter, and Ford's going to have 6.5%. You know what that means? It just means that they're going back to losing so much money that there isn't this much money in the world. Where do
You
you, where,
you wouldn't think so. You wouldn't think so. And it's interesting because your favorite CEO, Jim Farley, said over the weekend that Americans don't want $75,000 EVs. That's quite obvious if you want to state the obvious. But he's right. And the only buzz that you hear really coming from anybody like Tesla is that, oh yeah, I mean the 25,000 car is on the way. It's on the way. It's like, okay, you've said that for 3 or 4 years, but you'll still keep looking. But I thought what Farley said was good because that basically that says Lucid, you're dead. Anybody
well,
with the expensive cars is toast, just absolutely toast. There's nobody going to pay it. And,
I
and
don't I don't want to give Mr. Farley too hard a time, but
yes, you
if you buy
do.
an F-150 Lightning, their full size pickup EV, that thing starts out around 60K. But you
Uh-oh.
throw anything on it, you put in the leather seats
Yeah,
and the,
yeah,
and the
yeah. It's
electric
quickly
windows and
75.
stuff.
You're right. You're right.
Now they do say that they will have themselves a sub 30,000 EV, but not until 2027. So
Right, right. And you know what? The most bizarre dichotomy that's coming to face drivers and people in the future is that gasoline prices are going down because production, especially at OPEC Plus, is going up. But electricity prices are going up because, AI and data center use and all that is driving things crazy. So you're going to end up with the electricity being more expensive than owning, which was the whole pitch. Well, this is going to be
I
cheaper
know,
than buying
I
a
know.
gas car, and you're saving the world.
Those lines may not cross, but listen, uh,
They could.
December of last year, the United States produced more crude oil than any country in any month in history.
Ever.
So it
Yeah,
isn't just
ever.
OPEC plus. The world is awash in oil. And this idea that we're looking at peak oil in like 4 or 5 years, forget it. Peak
No
oil
way.
is
No way. And
20, 30
OPEC,
years out.
OPEC even they're, the crude markets were somewhat happy because the production for September and October is actually less than they expected it to be. The production increases. So, but it's still gas is and oil is everywhere.
Well, there are two parts to this, but to me, the
Yep.
most important thing of all is if you're an investor in any car company that's selling EVs in the United States, you've got to ask yourself the question, and that is what happens when the EV market share goes in half when it comes
Right.
to the purchase of new cars.
Right. Right.
And I would say the answer to that is if you're in that business, nothing good. And let's just tag this on for people so that they have it. Rivian and Lucid are toast. Okay.
They're
Just
absolutely toast. They won't
if
make.
you can
I
short
don't
them,
even think they'll make it 2 more years. But
if you've got some guts, short them. They're gone.
well, that would take guts. But I think unless somebody like a Mercedes Benz or a Volkswagen or somebody like that would want to buy them and incorporate them into their universe, maybe they survive. But other than that,
Yeah, their valuations are too high. They're still in the billions of dollars.
I
So
know, I know, I know.
anyway,
All right. Well, so I guess we're going to have to see what happens, and we'll return to this after the fourth quarter numbers come out and just see how they are in comparison to the blockbuster third quarter for everybody.
yes, indeed.